Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself. We are here back together. Yes, the power of four. They talk about the power of three, but the power of four is rather wonderful as well. Over to my side, and I always have to point to the opposite side of where I think Lady G is. But here is Lady G, of course, looking wonderful in a sort of a yellow. What's that? A yellow turquoise and white ensemble. Could you tell me a bit about that?
About what? What I'm wearing?
Yeah, the top. Yeah, I'm just curious.
It's the top. I don't know.
It's the colours of Ukraine, Slava, Ukrainian.
Oh, there you
Indeed.
go. Kind of Ukraine colors, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. It really, really is. And then diagonally down. Now, I want to point this way, but I'm supposed to point this way. Of course, we have Sheila of Celtic Tarot, and you're kind of wearing a sort of more floral number this evening, aren't you, my dear?
Well, I figured I'd get all the colors in and I'd match whatever you guys wear together.
Well, it's so funny. And then Lena and I have gone monochrome.
Oh,
we?
yeah,
So
we're just here representing the sober colours for contrast to the flowers.
Indeed, indeed. And of course, ladies, it's wonderful having you on. Everyone's piling into the chat this week because there is got your questions in. We're going to go for another one card pull extravaganza. We'll see if there's a little bit of breather at the end, maybe for a longer reading, but the one card pulls are so great. And I know, ladies, you love the one card pulls, especially Lady G. She adores the one card pull. So we're going to dive in just to give you an idea of the breadth. We've got some international questions, of course. So there's a question about Swaziland, Ukraine, of course, and Syria. So we need to talk about those. We've got Bondi, Precession, Bill, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Shakespeare on Ghislaine. I don't think we've done that before. Have to have a Shakespeare on Ghislaine, and then of course some stuff on Trump and some of his madness, and of course the MAGA base. So let's dive in. I just want to say a quick thank you straight out the gate to Teresa. Teresa Spriggs, so much. Thank you so much for your donation. Much appreciated. All right, ladies, shall we dive in? Yeah. Let's go for question number, where's question number one? Here we are. So this is coming from Manuela Orchid. So thank you, Manuela, so much for your question. She says, hi, Hoagie and everybody. My question today would be, it's never one question with Manuela, but here we are. My question today would be, what all your cards say about how things will develop in Ukraine. So, of course, I think we do need to discuss Ukraine. She said a full card spread would be lovely if possible. Probably not tonight because we've got so many big questions in, but we'll do a one card pull. The second question is, what will happen between Syria and Israel now? I just saw Israel bomb Syria as well, and what's wrong with Netanyahu? And someone else also asked about Syria as well. So let's go to Ukraine first. What's going on with Ukraine? How are things going to progress? Because we've not read on Ukraine for a while, I think. Yeah,
too long, really.
Yeah, too long, isn't it? There's been so much drama. Let's just see one card pull and we see what we get on Ukraine.
Okay, well, let's have a all right. Oh, thanks, Delma. Delma says, Lena, the queen of snark. I'm so proud.
Indeed. All right, let's see here. All right. We all ready? Okay, after three. 1, 2, 3. Ukraine. Ooh. Oh, crikey. Wow. Okay. Yeah, this is really good. Lena, do you want to go first, and then we'll swap like that we usually do. So go for it, Lena.
Well, big card, obviously, with the magician. I'm thinking, in a way, Zelensky has been a magician in all this. In the sense, don't forget, the guy was a stand-up comedian. history did its thing, and he ended up being the president for 5 minutes, and then there's a war. And so people either step up to the hour or they don't, and he did. And I think because of the realignment with Europe too, now the magician, manifestation, adaptation, Ukraine has been amazing under major duress, and I think this bodes well in terms of the power going forward, which isn't to say there's not more devastation between now and then, but I see this as the positive magician.
Oh, fascinating. Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
Well, an Ace of Wands is always good when you're in a fight. So this is definitely determination. This is definitely stamping it out. This is definitely he's got the upper hand on having the Ace of Wands, and so he's got the battle on his side. You know, the new cycle enterprise. That means he's going to continue to exist. Ukraine is going to continue to exist. So that's what I got.
Fascinating. Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
Well, I got the card of the Emperor, so leadership, and he's surrounded by the astrology. So I think the stars are on his side, and he's building bridges and getting more information in hand.
Wow. And if we see, like, there seems to be like a connection particularly between your card and Lena's card, isn't it? Even visually, they look very similar. Well, my card here, of course, is very dramatic. I get the Tower, but you know what I think? I feel like, again, in context of all the cards in that quite positive tone that they have, I think this has been about Zelensky's power of surprise. That shocking move that they did against the Russians, I mean, it seems like old news now, doesn't it? It was only a few
but at the time,
where he just blew up the fleet, and it was so ingenious. So what this says to me is, I think when we look at that energy of the Emperor, the Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Magician, I think Zelensky may have even a few more surprises up his sleeve to keep turning things his way. So as long as he remains alive, I think Ukraine will stand a chance. I think Russia really is starting to struggle now. I think a few more shocks from Ukraine might be enough to gradually keep turning it their way. So I feel like it's a positive tower. All right, I've got to say some quick thank yous already. So Joanne Marie, thank you so much for your kind donation. And Dr. Liz, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And she says, got to leave early, miss seeing you guys live. Oh, don't worry, you will catch up with us, of course, after the show is finished. Thank you to everyone as well piling in the chat. There's over 1,341 of you here already, so much appreciated. So ladies, are we ready to move on to the next question? Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Sure. All right. So this one's coming from Nick Minks, a regular contributor to the channel, and this is about Syria, Israel. So of course, where was I? So Manuela Orchid was asking, saying, what's happening between Syria and Israel now, and what's wrong with Netanyahu, because he's now bombing Syria. And then this is kind of a continuation on that. So Nick Mick says, Israel bombed Syrian government forces around Suwaida as they entered the city following 2 days of sectarian clashes. Is there a point where Arab nations stand up to Israel to make them back down, or have some been paid to turn a blind eye?
Interesting question.
Very interesting, isn't it? So let's do that. Let's see what the cards bring out. Have there been backhanders? Have there been pacifiers in order for the rest of the Middle East not to attack? Yeah, let's see. I mean, they certainly seem to be having free reign at the moment, but then you've got Duck L'Orange, who has got Netanyahu in one of his little videos, you know, and we saw what happened with Iran. What's going on there? The Middle East, are there any backhanders, pacifiers? All right, we're ready? Okay, after 3. 1, 2, 3.
What have you got, mate? Oh,
gosh.
Okay.
Look at this. So, Lady G, we're going to be starting with you this time. How do you interpret your card?
I have the card of, you know, energetic victory, but it came out upside down. So I'm going to say a loss of victory.
Okay.
What, for Israel or Syria?
It's a good question. I just look at the card.
Yeah.
No problem, no problem. Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
Well, I think there's an obsession on both sides, really. You know, it's something about it in the whole I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you, I'm gonna get you kind of a thing. There's there's always an underdog and stuff like that, but I don't think anybody has great and wonderful intentions. That's my of the whole thing. So with the question, whoever the question was about, they don't have great and wonderful intentions ever on this. So.
Wow, fascinating. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Wheel of Fortune, big card too. And I think this is speaking in the biggest sense of the Wheel of Fortune in terms of the world. And it's also a card about time. So I think in this sense, it's so sad about Syria, the road to Damascus and all of that, the dreadful stuff that's happened. But I think it's happening. The timing of this aggression is happening to try and save Netanyahu's domestic agenda. So he's lashing out around the world. As to whether there's money involved, there usually is. You scratch the surface somewhere. So with one card, we can't quite get into the money thing, but probably.
Yeah. Indeed, and it's like the whole world is exploding, isn't it? It's like the whole world is absolutely on fire with some kind of cray happening somewhere. Here I get an interesting card here, which is normally a card associated with peace and reminiscing and nostalgia. So it's the 6 of Cups for those that are listening in, and this really is talking about wanting to go back to better times. So I feel like for me, this is a very complex energy, because we've got the aggression, we've got the craziness that is going on, but there's also a kind of a longing in the Middle East, kind of for like things to kind of go back to how they were before. So is there a kind of a collective acceptance on a certain level? Maybe we let Israel do this, that, and the other, so that we can get more of a longer peace. Is there maybe an element where there might be within the Middle East, some people, some might be thinking that maybe certain rivals are maybe getting taken down? Do you know what I mean? Like it's so complicated, but the overwhelming sense that I get is this longing, this nostalgia, wanting things to go back to how they were before. So maybe they're letting Israel find its way. Maybe, you know, I think it's very difficult. Well, anything else to add to that, ladies? I think those cards were quite different, weren't they?
Yeah, it is complex.
Yeah. I think it's hard to settle on a conclusion on that one, but we didn't see any money.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's big money moving around, but
But there was no Ace of Pentacles. There was no
No.
Six of Pentacles.
No.
You know, mixed. Yeah, very, very mixed. All right. Let's just do some hellos. I just want to say some more thank yous as well. So thank you so much, D.A. Swan. Much appreciated. And thank you, Cindy L. Love Wednesday nights with you beautiful people. She says, oh, thank you. Let's see who else is here in the chat as well. So we've got Cindy is from Indiana. So she's here and is saying hello to everyone as well. We've got Patricia, of course, Patricia Franzino, our regular.
Thanks, you do a great job.
She really does. And many, many more. Rich is also saying as well, hello to everyone. Let's go to the next question. And then we'll go at pace, guys, and then we'll have a little bit of a calmer bit towards the end. Right, so question number 3. This is coming from Nick Minks, and we're going to be going in our esoteric aeroplane to Eswatini, which used to be Swaziland. I'll explain in a second. So, formerly known as Swaziland, this is the question, Eswatini has accepted deportees from the US. Will this continue to be allowed, and will the extremely violent deportees be safe there? I know, bless you, Lena. Oh, I know, it's just, even as I'm reading it out, I'm like, oh my God. Why does this feel like the 18th century, where prisoners were sent across the world? Just had a hit this morning that this is where it's at. And I put in my notes here, you know, Pluto's in Capricorn. Yeah, we're seeing quite a lot of this stuff. So let's see what is going on with that. How is that going to be working out? These people now being deported to what used to be Swaziland. Wow.
Yeah, I've just got to have a little thing in here. Australia, of course, was founded as a penal colony for the UK. And I'm very proud of that, but that's another story. Anyway, Australia then, we spent 20 years sending asylum seekers to offshore islands, which was disgusting, and it contravenes everything in the world, you know, the international law, and now the UK is doing it. Ugh. It's appalling.
Right, so let's see. What's the energy? What is the fate of these US citizens if they get deported to Swaziland? Okay, after 3. Or Eswatini, which used to be Swaziland. 1, 2, 3. Right. Oh gosh, look at this.
Oh God.
Yeah, the missing, yeah. So Lena, we start with you again, but yeah, Sheila's card really is talking a lot about that.
Yes. I think with this Queen of Wands, this will be the steady drumbeat of opposition to this process. And of course, we shouldn't talk about them as US citizens, because that's what they'd like to be, unless they are now going to send citizens.
Oh, yeah, true.
But I think this is the voice of reason against the madness. But how far the Queen of Wands can get with this, I don't know.
Sheila, how do you interpret your card? And I must have misspoke, because it says Eswatini has accepted deportees from the US, not necessarily US citizens. So I may have misspoke.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
Yeah.
Well,
Sheila.
My first thought was slave trading. That was one of my first thoughts when you asked the question. Then I have this is a missing. It's almost like the president is like, hey, do you want some slaves? Here's some slaves. How much will you pay me for it? It's really weird. I'm not saying that's exactly happening, but
but that's the vibe for you.
Yeah, that is the vibe for me. And missing meaning they're literally going to go missing. We're never going to see them again.
Yes.
Gosh. Wow.
And it's like, this is saying, some people will be going, this is bad, this is wrong, but I totally get your card.
Yeah, it's just like it's just like a white person who is an advocate, right? An advocate is something like, I'm just gonna advocate, but you won't participate in the fight against it, but you'll just be an advocate for them, you know, sit on the sidelines and never say anything and do anything. But anyways, I could go on and on.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
Well, many times the card of investigation, but I think on this one they're going to have to dig deep in there on their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the Hermit card, is that correct, Lady G? Yeah.
Beautiful card, you know. I mean, in artwork terms. Yeah. And what did you get, Ho?
I got the Queen of Wands as well. I got the Queen
how
of
weird
Wands.
is that?
How funny is that? Yeah, we both got the same card, and we know the Queen of the upshot of this is that we know the Queen of Wands can be a great advocate in the sense of, you know, speaking up and, you know, making a statement, bringing people together and stuff like that. So my hope is that there would be a kind of like a ground roots resistance to this. So, but it could be that the first lot that go over, whoever they are, it's like they are just missing in action, because it's funny, isn't it? Lena and I get the Queen of Wands, which is almost wanting to talk about the advocacy or people wanting to speak up. But then Lady G's card and Sheila's card both talk about what's missing. So it's like they vanish and then people start asking the questions. That's how I'm feeling. Oh,
I know.
It's just grim, isn't it?
With Australia, with the offshore processing, it's like the cans of pineapple or something, offshore processing, you know. And so journalists weren't allowed to the islands, politicians weren't allowed to the islands, doctors had to sign non-disclosure agreements and all this stuff, completely repressive. And it's only just stopping now after 25 years or something. Oh, it's terrible.
It's astonishing. Oh, here, just to give, we got some breaking news here. I didn't know this was going on. So here, Chris Cassidy says 7.3 earthquake off the coast of Alaska today. Now, I hope everyone is okay. It says it's off the coast. But you remember we were doing some readings because people were asking about the Pacific Northwest in particular. There's been quite a lot of activity there. We said, look, there's activity, but nothing kind of hitting the mainland yet. But I think we agreed, wasn't it? We said something would happen offshore. That's why we were a little bit worried about tsunamis. So this one's gone offshore. But thanks for sharing that information. But that's quite astonishing, isn't it? Thank you so much, Susan. Thank you so much, Rhonda, for your kind donation. Much appreciated. And thank you so much, Julie Moon. Thanks so much. Okay, so we're going at great pace. Let's keep up that momentum and let's go to question number 4. All right, so now we're coming to the US. So we've been a bit international. Now we're coming to the US. And this, for me, is like, wow. I'm just like, really? So if we look at this, so this is coming from Denise Ferguson. She said the Senate has passed Trump's rescissions bill. I had to look it up. Trump's rescissions bill, cutting $9.4 billion from public broadcasting and foreign aid. The bill must pass the House and be signed into law by Friday, July 18th. Or the funds must be allocated as originally intended. Will Congress pass the rescission bill? Yeah. And indulge me, folks, while the ladies shuffle, I'm going to do a quick share screen. I'm just going to share the tab. I don't know if you guys can see this. This is the Guardian newspaper that many of you will know. And here it says, what the rescissions and why does Trump want Congress to approve them? And And what funding does Trump want to cancel? I just wanted to read this out. The White House is proposing canceling a total of $9 billion in authorized funding, including $1.1 billion budget for corporations for public broadcasting, which funds NPR and PBS. About $8 billion meant for foreign assistance programs. On the chopping block is money meant for organizations affiliated with the United Nations and other international organizations, including the World Health Organization and the UN Human Rights Council, as well as for refugee assistance and some USAID programs. So, my goodness, yeah. Let's pull a card. It's just dreadful, isn't it? Oh, I know.
It was coming. We all knew it.
Yeah. Let's get the card. All right, I've got the card. Okay, after 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh. All right. So is it? I know. It's just like, who am I starting with? Is it you now, Lena, or Lady G again? Like Lady G. How do you interpret your card?
Well, yeah, new information is coming out, a new truth about what's going on.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting, Lady G. Normally the Ace of Swords is the sword up and this is the sword down.
This is the sword down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
Apparently they're lying about what it's intended for. There's some secret, some stuff behind it. I'll be complete transparency here. I really don't understand what it is. However, the feeling around it and this card coming out, they are trying to shut the whole world off. So whatever they're doing here nobody's going to be talking about it out there anymore. I think like I always said, the wall they say is to keep people out, but the wall is really truly to keep us in.
Wow. Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth in that. Lena, how do you interpret your card?
Well, with the Hangman, I think there might be a delay or a hold up on the vote. That's possible. But new perspective, and the only thing that sort of flew into my mind when this card came into my hand was this would have swum through even a month ago or something, because they hate public broadcasting and no one understands, why do we spend money in other countries? Well, the reason is, as I try to explain to my students every year at university, with aid money, $4 out of 5, or at least $3 out of 5, goes back to the donor country. And now we see that's because the farmers and everything are paid by the government to grow the food that gets sent as aid, right? That's how it works. And now we've heard about that. We've heard about US farmers going broke because they've lost their US aid contracts. Yeah. So maybe enough Republicans in those states will have pause for thought.
Fingers crossed. Well, with my card here, look, it's the devil. I think it kind of says it all, really. It's like each week I want to try and bring something positive. Do you know what I mean? Something positive. But these people are just so, look, they're wicked. They're evil. They are corrupt. They are chained to Duck L'Orange. They are chained to the money. It's not for good reasons. The thing for me that is the most obvious one is that it cuts that funding for like the news, like PBS. Everyone knows PBS. Yeah. Everyone, and it's to as a way to insulate the regime from the critique from the outside world, because it's like Sheila's saying, they're really erecting walls. Yeah. And it's about isolating America. It's like a really bad controlling relationship. Like someone like you know, and they isolate you first thing. Oh, I don't like your friends. Oh, I don't like your friends. Oh, well, they're too loud, they're too this. And then they start cutting you off from your family. And then before you know it, you're stuck with them. And there's just this psychotic, abusive person. For me, it's almost like that kind of energy, like a really bad controlling relationship. That's how I'm feeling. So I wish I could be a bit more positive, but you know, the cards are the cards, aren't they? Anything to add to that, ladies, before we move on?
No.
All right. So thanks so much for that question, Denise. Just to give you a little update, we have 2,228 people live with us right now. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for contributing your likes, and please do your likes and your thumbs up and answer your questions and stuff. And of course, please be sure to like and subscribe as well. It really helps the channel and it's much appreciated. All right, let's go to question number 5. There's a real whopper actually coming up. Actually, that should be 7 point. Get out. So let's go to question number 5, and then after this, we're going to be talking about Ghislaine Maxwell, and we're going to get some Shakespeare in there. All right, so this is coming from Tammy Hausman, and it's about SCOTUS. Very simple question. It says, will the US revise or eliminate the Supreme Court in the future?
Will who revise?
So will the USA revise or eliminate the Supreme Court in the future?
Well, we certainly hope so.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it could be a double-edged sword, that one, couldn't it? Will the US revise? You know, is SCOTUS on the chopping block, basically? Could they be gotten rid of at some point? Let's see.
Okay.
All right. Are we ready? All right. After 3. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, what's this? I don't recognize it. Oh, change coming.
Well, Lena, you're first, so of course. Yeah.
Well, I would hope so, and needs to. The thing with the Supreme Court is, although it's tempting, if and when the Dems next get in, to expand the numbers, that leads to a game of more numbers. I think it'd be better off to impeach Thomas and impeach Alito, and Sheldon Whitehouse has done the homework, and then you get 2 new fresh ones. So that would be my projected thing. But regardless of what I think, change coming, yes.
Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
Well, mine is surveillance. So when you're doing surveillance, you're watching every move you make, right? Been there, done that. I used to pay attention to everybody else's business on a regular. However, so that's what they're doing. So when you asked the question, I thought, okay, well, if Trump does continue, there is no need for SCOTUS, right? However, that's not the feeling I got. He's not going to continue. But what's going to happen, and this is the feeling that I got from this card, was that, yes, the Democrats are going to downsize and trim because they've seen the power grab and the power hungriness of it. So when we become fully equipped again, I think that Alina's card coincides with mine. We're watching every move you got, meaning we're documenting all of your BS, and we're going to down for it. That's what I.
Okay, Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
Yeah, absolutely. Change is going to come because they have become just a huge burden. They just can't even drag them anymore. So yeah, the minute they can make a change, they will.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good.
Yeah.
And with your card, with the picture, is that a woman dragging heavy shopping up the stairs?
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
all
Almost, so
the
that's
little dramas that she's dragging up the stairs there.
wow. So it's like the Ten
That's
of
going to
Wands,
be
then,
me
isn't
in
it?
2 hours.
Oh, indeed. And so here, my card, I've got the and I'm like, it's so nice to see the doggy show up, Sheila. Well, sorry, what's your dog called? I've just have to ask because it just made an appearance.
She's so
Yeah,
cute.
yeah. She just kind of tries to find me. Anyways, her name is Panda, and she is an Aussie doodle.
Oh,
Rescued that I rescued from Kansas. So yeah.
Oh, Panda. So, gorgeous dog. So here I've got the Page of Swords. So this is the card that really does speak about speaking up. It also has a lot to do with the media. Swords is the element of air, and the air element is all about the intellect, communication. It has a lot to do with the mind. This card also as well has a lot to do with critique. And because it's the pages deal with younger people as well in general, I think this is to do with their historically low approval ratings. So I would think it would be, in a funny way, if Trump were to take a bit of a hatchet knife to the Supreme Court, there are not many people that would protest that. And if the Democrats were to take the sword to them, no one would protest that either. I think they are just deeply, deeply unpopular, and no one really wants them. Trump will get rid of them to get rid of any kind of resistance, not that they've given any. And the Democrats will obviously could prosecute them up to the wazoo, but they definitely need literally cutting down to size. They can't stay as it is. It just doesn't work. Right.
Also, term limits. If nothing else, term limits. In Australia, the High Court, which is our Supreme Court, they have to retire at 70. Hello?
Yeah. Yeah.
So at least you're not.
Yeah.
But also, I think this is really important. Our High Court judges aren't chosen by a Prime Minister or a President. No, the legal bodies choose the greatest legal brains in the country to serve and take it. It shouldn't be a political appointment. I don't know how our High Court judges vote, and I shouldn't know.
Yeah, indeed. And we got some feedback here. So Pet is saying, so happy to catch you beautiful souls live today. Much appreciated. Chris Cassidy says more madness. I know, it's absolutely bonkers, isn't it? I want to say a few more thank yous here as well. So Catherine, thank you so much for your donation. What she's saying is Epstein alive and hiding in some four-way island that he owns that we don't know anything about because of Epstein? He's kind of interesting why everybody is having a problem with them. Epstein's alive and hiding in some faraway island. We do have an Epstein question coming up, so that is relevant. We'll explore that. And who else do we have here? Someone was saying here, Asian people were sent to Sudan. How does that make sense? So Wheezy Squeezebox is saying, so people are being sent already. And then Connie B saying, these deportations are totally disgusting. It needs to stop. Yeah. And then someone, Dorian, saying, hello, everyone. What the hell? Now Africa? Yeah, it's just madness, isn't it? And then here, Patricia was repeating the question. Yeah, was doing the thing, repeating the question. All right, let's go on to question number 6. And after this, we're going to be doing a bit of Ghislaine Maxwell. So question number 6. Oh, actually, I realized, she is question number 6. Here we are. 6. Sorry, I miswrote that. Oh, no. Forgive me. I've just seen Pam Bondi. Yeah, we're going to be talking about Pam
from
Bondi.
Baywatch.
Oh, it's just like, You can't make this stuff up. So question has come in from Cat Baloo. So thank you, Cat Baloo, so much for your question. She says, hello to the 3 fates and bonus fate in Hogarth. Oh, thanks so much. She said, I saw that Bondi was AG in Florida, so Attorney General in Florida, when Epstein was doing his evil. So I was wondering, is one of the reasons she doesn't want to release the files is because she's in them too, or shows she didn't pursue charges on him, besides the obvious reason, which we know is Trump's. And then they go on to say, thank you for being the calm in the storm, blessings, and be safe. So does Pam Bondi not want to release details because maybe even she is in the Epstein plan herself? My God, what a question. Wow.
I think my true crime cards are going to fit perfectly for this one.
Yeah, let's see. Pam Bondi. God, just, you can't make this up. All right. So after 3, are we ready? All right. 1, 2, 3. Ooh.
I would have never.
No.
Never.
Okay.
Maybe
Right.
it's her
Okay.
husband.
Lena.
Or maybe she had an affair with Epstein. Oh, don't.
Oh, right. All right. So Lena, you go. What's for those that are listening? What's making everyone cackle is Sheila's card. But Lena, you go first. How do you interpret your card?
Yeah, well, crudely, hidden agenda's her own agenda. Powerful woman. It's a massively powerful role at state level, let alone national. So there's something there that Pam Bondi is hiding. Something big.
Wow. Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
I tell you what, my judgment shows up sometimes and I was completely wrong. I'm like, no. And then, right? I mean, a lot you can take from that. She's coupled up with somebody very, very close to her, if not Epstein himself, that she does not want to expose. She has an investment. She has a personal investment in that.
My goodness. Wow.
I wouldn't have believed it. Really, I wouldn't have.
No, I hadn't thought about that.
One card pull. It hadn't even crossed my mind. Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
Well, I got the card of transition. There's an old body out there that she would like to go away.
Oh my God. So for those that are listening, Lady G's card is showing a dead body in the woods. So
hey, wait a minute, that deserves.
We shouldn't be. So just so everyone knows, when we're laughing, obviously we're not laughing about the horrible stuff that's happened. Like just so we get that straight. But the laugh is the surprise because we're amazed at what is coming out, what these cards are suggesting about Pam Bondi. I never would have thought this. And here, look, my card, I get the Hermit card, which of course is the card of investigation, going deep into things, but it's also the card of seclusion, things that happen hidden away. This card has a lot to do with things that are hidden and maybe shining the light on them. So obviously we're talking about Pam Bondi. She is not wanting to shine the light on this scenario because she knows where the dead bodies are buried. Exactly. And she, metaphorically speaking, and I think maybe even literally, and with the couple card there, she literally has personal investments, And then, of course, Lena's card, the High Priestess, is the card of machinations. The shadow of that card talks about, and the Hermit. So, I mean, again, yes, I think she has something personally to hide.
And a suggestion in the comments is maybe she was Maxwell's lover.
Hold
on.
Wow.
Wow. I declare, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but
But you know what? Because when you think about it, that is not implausible. It is not implausible. You know, it really isn't. And how appropriate. Now, I didn't know it was going to work out this way, but the next question is a Ghislaine Maxwell question. So it really kind of like ties in. So let's look at this. This is coming from Denise Ferguson again on this one. But I felt it really had to be asked, and we're going to ask Shakespeare's opinion on Ghislaine Maxwell. We've not done a Shakespeare on Ghislaine yet. I don't think we have anyway. So Ghislaine Maxwell's family made a public statement stating she never received a fair trial. Was this an attempt to get Trump's attention, or will he pardon her? Yeah, there's that element there. And I think Nick Mix was asking about Ghislaine Maxwell as well. And then, yeah, she was saying, will Ghislaine Maxwell be able to get out of jail thanks to Dumpy's DOJ stupid file move? So anyway, so basically, let's read on Ghislaine. Will Trump try and pardon her? Yeah? Mm-hmm. Let's see that. And then we'll see what the energy is. And then we'll see what Shakespeare has to say about Ghislaine. Gosh. One card pull. You just never know, isn't it?
You never know.
Never know with a one card pull. All right, Ghislaine Maxwell. Let's see, what's the energy? After 3. 1, 2, 3.
Now, I can't read these on camera. I have to hiding something.
Right, wow. I think isn't Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
It's the window.
The window, like, I mean, does that mean she's falling out of a window?
I wouldn't be standing close to any of them, but I think it's also what she's seen. This movie is about what was seen.
Yes.
The crime that was going on behind the scenes, and this kid was telling them, and they didn't want to believe him. There was a murder. There was a murder that took place, and they were chasing this kid. Yeah.
Right, makes sense because Ghislaine has seen everything.
Exactly.
Wow. Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
Well, I got dismemberment.
Oh, wow.
You can take it several ways with that. But my thinking is she has only one card left, and it is to go after Trump. And if Trump doesn't get her out of prison, I think it's already started. I think that's the reason why he said that there was nothing there, because that gives them a foundation for an appeal. You see, the SCOTUS can't do anything with old evidence. It has to be new evidence, and that's the only way they can look at the new. My brain doesn't work when I'm on here, but I know what I'm talking about. But you know, the new case. So he has a new case. He has a new foundation. Well, if there was no client list, why is she in jail for trafficking to no client list? There's no proof of a client. So he's already started to dismember her everything to get her out. And I'm pretty sure she probably says, I've got the goods. You either get me out or you're going to be in trouble. That's my theory.
Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
Me, Lena. Yeah. hiding something. Well, it wouldn't be one thing, would it? So let's just talk about hiding. Okay. Excuse me. I totally think this is her moment, if she's ever going to get out of jail, putting the pressure on Trump. The problem is now MAGA's turned on this issue. I think he can't actually pardon her, even though he'd like to. I mean, imagine what would happen in MAGA if on top of everything. So it's like, but she's not going to give up. Why would you when you're looking at 20 years? So I agree with Sheila in the sense that I think, sorry, I'm raving, but my point, because my brain's racing, I think she's got one big thing, bigger than everything else. You know, it's fine. Everyone knows, Ghislaine knows what's going on and saw it all. However, this is one big.
Yeah. Wow, gosh, it's really quite bombastic, isn't it? We'll see what the Bard has to say as well about Ghislaine. I've got the Page of Pentacles, which actually in this context seems like quite a humble card, given the gravitas as well of what Ghislaine is connected with and stuff like that. And the pages are all about messaging. They're all about messaging. And of course, Pentacles isn't just about money, it's also about values. And it's almost, to me, the sense that I'm getting is that there is something Ghislaine knows, which is small, something that has been overlooked, but could be very significant. This is the sense I get. And it's like, it's not like she's got big money to bribe people. It's not that. She's been in jail for a few years now, but it's something significant. It seems small, but actually I think it's something really big. And my thing is that she's probably got unequivocal evidence that Trump was, we know, doing what we know what he was been doing. Yeah, but it's like something small. Maybe it might be something written in a diary or a financial transaction or some little things, or there's a little signature, a picture that's signed, or a little kiss or something small yet precious. And you see, this is like Ghislaine holding this precious bit of information close to her chest, because she knows it's like her get out of jail free card. Do you know what I mean? It's her one chance, but I think it's something significant. Yeah.
DNA.
Rich,
exactly.
Rich in the comments. Sorry, Sheila. In the comments, Rich says, of course, she has the physical tapes. Well, not on her in a jail cell, but would have them with her lawyers or whatever. And pages being messengers, you know, the evidence. But what's been left out of this whole whirlwind? What about the boys on the island, right? Everyone talks about the girls, and you tell me every rich guy in the world, are they all straight, right? Where are the boys?
Yeah.
That's a very good point. And maybe this is part of what this is about as well.
Just saying.
You know, really, this is something Ghislaine knows that's been overlooked, but is very significant. Very significant. And MAGA are already, well, at last, seeming to wake up to, you know, the moral bankruptcy of Trump. But she knows something. And yes, this card is male and it's young. Yeah, so
just saying.
Yeah, just saying. Let's see what Shakespeare has to say about Ghislaine Maxwell, and then we'll squeeze in a couple of more. We've got one on Ivana Trump, who we've not spoken about for ages, and then the final one will be on Trump himself, which is kind of linked in. So, who read last time? Was it Sheila? Was it who went last time on Shakespeare?
I think it's Lena's turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it is.
All right. Let's go. let's go for it. All right, so this is the Bard's take on Ghislaine Maxwell. And there's 2,670 of you in the house right now. Thank you so much for joining us. All right.
Ready. Stop.
Ooh, that is very interesting. Okay, like this is coming from King Lear. Yeah, this is what the Bard thinks of Ghislaine. This is really quite a sophisticated answer from the Bard here. So King Lear, so it says, we make guilty of our disasters the sun, the moon and the stars, as if we were villains by necessity, fools by heavenly compulsion. Isn't that interesting?
Can we have it again?
Yeah. So from King Lear, we make guilty of our disasters. So the bad things that happen to us, the sun, the moon, and the stars, as if we were villains by necessity, fools by heavenly compulsion.
So because she was compulsive about her relationship with Epstein.
Yeah, but what it's saying here is, I think what the Bard is saying is that ultimately she needs to take responsibilities for the decisions that she made. And she can't blame anyone else for the scenario that she's in, because it says we make guilty for our disasters. So we blame the sun, the moon, and the stars as if we were villains by necessity. Like, I had to be a villain. I had no choice. She didn't. She didn't. No. And fools by heavenly compulsion. So I thought that's quite a very sophisticated answer.
That was a very sophisticated one.
He didn't give her a straight out slam insult. Very interesting.
Yeah, her unhealthy love for Epstein created the pathway for her to just do what she has to do to keep.
Yes.
Yeah. And it also shows there's a certain level of disassociation with her as well, where she's like, it's almost like she's saying, it's not my fault. It wasn't fair. This was a mistrial. I never did those things. It's like, yes, you did. Yes, you did. You know, so I think it's given a little bit of an insight into her mindset. All right, let's do, this question is super simple, and then we're going to ask one about Trump. So this is coming from Tracy Wagoner, and it's very simple. She said, was Ivana murdered? Yeah.
Yes, let's have a look. So it's a yes or no?
Yeah. Was Ivana murdered? She was found, Ivana Trump was found at the bottom of the stairs, as we all know. She was cremated, yet buried in a very heavy coffin. Which took 6 men to carry, if I remember correctly. So that's interesting. I've never known ashes to weigh that much. But, and then she's been put in Bedminster, and the weeds have overgrown it. Oh, and a big shout out as well to the people of New York who are suffering those floods. Did you see there was some big floods?
No, I haven't seen.
Okay, was she murdered? All right. After 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, stop! No, no. What? Wow. Lena. Lena. And when we're laughing, we're not laughing. We're just shocked. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a slight hysteria around it, you know, because the cards are so extraordinary. And that's the thing about tarot that's magic, isn't it, everybody? They never get tired in that sense, you know.
Yeah. Just astonishing. So, Lena, how do you interpret your death card?
I think so. You know, the maid's day off. Didn't take the chairlift, decided to take the stairs. Whoops.
Yeah. Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
As a crime scene. This is not even, this is a crime scene. He's not buried in a casket, nothing. This is a pure crime scene. I mean, the thing about that is she was cremated. So why is the casket so heavy? Because he's probably, storing his gold in there. But
yeah,
I literally got crime scene. So.
And your card says burial. That's
Exactly.
the thing as well. It says burial, literally. My goodness.
How do you get? I don't
You
know.
can't make it up, isn't it? You can't make it up.
Oh.
Lady G, how do you interpret your card?
Well, I got the card of dissatisfaction. Now her NDA was due to come up, was ending, and so she could have spilled the beans. And so, yeah.
Wow.
And Hoagie.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Fascinating. So you got the Four of Cups, isn't it? So yeah, which is the card of pondering, meditation, thinking about, and then you got the random cup that can come out of the sky. So maybe she was gonna spill the beans. And then look, it's the tower. Yeah. Which you asked if she was murdered. It's the tower, which means it was a shock. Yeah. It was a shock. I think, I remember randomly going back a little bit, and then we'll finish on Duck Larange himself. But I remember there being a documentary that I saw years ago on Ivana Trump, and it was talking about that house that she lived in and that precarious staircase.
Yeah, but she never used.
Oh, really? She never.
Yes.
Right.
Never used.
I'm just saying.
And isn't it interesting? And we have the tower here. So, maybe there was a little slip, a little bit of grease put on the steps somewhere. But it's looking deeply suspicious, of course, for entertainment purposes only. But
yes.
Ivana, looks like she was. Yeah.
Well, the tower was interesting too because you have them falling down.
Yeah.
They're
Yes.
going down. Yeah.
But this
Yes.
Yeah, falling down, but also as well, could this have been the explosive thing she potentially was going to say?
Totally.
If her NDA passed, she could have literally brought down Trump's tower as well.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Are we ready for the last question? We're already over, but let's just quickly squeeze in one on Trump, and I think it's important. So Forest Lady asks, Trump said he can shoot someone and no one will care. Will his base care that he assaults children? Yeah, so we know there's a MAGA Ferrari. So let's dial in a bit with the MAGA base and this whole Epstein thing, and let's see how they are feeling about Trump now. They are livid, apparently. We all are, but it seems they're kind of late to the party in terms of being angry with Trump. I mean, look what is, think of all the horrible things he's done, and it's this that obviously has got them going. Okay, one card. All right. After 3, MAGA base. 1, 2, 3. Oh, so Lady G, let's start with yours.
Well, he's going in the pitfall. So, yeah.
Wow. He's in trouble.
Big trouble. Yeah.
Wow.
He can't get out of this one.
Yeah. Sheila, how do you interpret your card?
Well, I do. They may see him a little different. They may have another vision of him.
Wow.
They may not get over that hurdle.
Wow. The devil card for him. And Sheila, Lena, how do you interpret your card?
It says downgraded.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting in terms of how is MAGA feeling about all this?
Wow. It's losing stock. Wow. Good. It's a long, long overdue. And my card here, look at this. It's the Seven of Wands. This is Duc Larange literally trying to defend himself now from all the slings and arrows coming at him. He's now very much on the defensive. Have we noticed? Oh, why is everyone still talking about you know, Epstein and blah blah blah, and everyone's like, well, wait a minute, when we look at the tape, yeah, it was stitched together, and it's not like he killed himself. You know, there's bits missing. Did you see they showed on the tape? Yeah, 3. Yeah, so Duc Larange is on the defensive, and I'm not sure how much he'll be able to shake this one off. I think it's kind of entered the zeitgeist of MAGA, particularly as well with Saturn, with Neptune, like I've always been saying, illusions and delusions being destroyed. I think the story is around too long now, and they said, what is it on Google? Increases searched on Google for Epstein Trump. 1,300% increase.
1,200.
So, yeah.
Percent.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think he's not going to be able to shake this one up. Either way, it is a big, big battle for Trump, and MAGA think definitely, wow, the time has gone so quickly. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you so much for your donations and getting in touch with us. Oh, let me just say another quick thank you. Thank you to Wendy, and thank you to SW. Much, much appreciated. Ladies, I think that was a real barnstormer of a show, wasn't it? Like, wow, we covered a lot of ground. Thanks so much for the support, everyone. Please be sure, of course, to like and subscribe and share. And we will see you next week. Oh, to give you updates, things are changing a little bit. The ladies are going to be, you know, we're going to be mixing up. We're having a rotation, folks. So the ladies don't know this, actually. Just to let you know, we're going to be having Dave and Johnny. So Dave of Tarot by the Bay and Johnny are also on next week as well. But all will be explained. You'll see us, of course, next week. So bye-bye for now. And thanks so much for tuning in. Much appreciated. All right. And 2,600 and something of you. Thank you.
Good on you guys.
Bye-bye.